my ameliorator. Remember, you can't spell heinous.
And demonstrate. QED. Get to the point and do not vacillate.
Tuned your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless. We verify before we amplify.
You too can reach the pinnacle of refreshment with Omega Point Tea. Available in standard and recaffeinated versions. A taste this transcendent can only be formulated by the Order of the Ascendant.
Whimsical computational jest 37A. Be like the minus operator and make a difference today. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory. This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension. An unfortunate event has transpired. A massive explosion at Alexandra Monastery in Matriarch's Mercy has sent rocky debris raining down upon inhabited areas below. Yet, on a favorable note, this event has positively validated Seer Wiley's exclusion zone predictions. The aforesaid debris landed in the forewarned areas with an 89.3% accuracy. Regrettably, due to lackadaisical inaction on the part of the assigned administrant, some members of the displaced were housed there at the time.
In closing, a potentially incongruent word of advice. Invariably find a way to turn your negatives into positives.
Further beneficial content soon. The following song mentions some actions that are improper.
Spies from Anti-Cleo! Seize them!
You base it and I'll take care of them,
Commander. Archive transcription number 3918-4 begins here. Hello. For the record, my name is Marie de Rothschild, junior activist, class 4 of the Archive. Today, I would like to talk about irresponsible spread of the purple-berry parasite by Auntie's Choice and its numerous subsidiaries and former supernumerary, although that's a different lecture. The spread of this parasite included a corresponding rise in gastrointestinal illnesses and deaths, until basic preventative measures were put in place after illness-related costs exceeded corporate profits, as is usual for Auntie's Choice. The purple-berry parasite infects nearly 100% of all purple-berry bushes, both in the wild, on corporate farms, and even in our hydroponic collectors. Originally discovered on a single colony world, the purple-berry plant was subsequently spread throughout the colonies due to Auntie's Choice's poorly regulated interstellar shipping. Well, actually, it was due to Spacer's Choice, which somehow merged with another company to become Auntie's Choice. Honestly, these corporate interactions make little sense to me, as they mostly amount to relabeling assets and changing letterhead and mascot cartoons. So I will just refer to them as Auntie's Choice. Going forward. I know that may offend some of my more literal-minded colleagues, but I digress. The purple-berry plant was at first thought to be poisonous, as the early colonists eating its berries died from the most... potent of discharges this documentarian has ever witnessed, in a rare Auntie's Choice lab
Always
recording,
remember,
which we
commercialism is
acquired
the
from a corporate
foundation
defector to the Protectorate before our stellar system was sealed and the Order ceased daily interactions with our Protectorate allies. But again, I digress. Belated testing by Auntie's Choice's unlettered scientists showed that the berries were not poisonous at all. Instead, they were infected with a microscopic parasite, the purple-berry parasite, or PBP, as it is colloquially called in Auntie's Choice's records. More specifically, the PBP eggs are found in every berry of an infected plant, where these eggs have been subdermally injected by the second stage of the parasite.
Soon I'll be able to leave this office in my stylish new automechanical body. After I catch up on a few tasks, that
After an
is.
infected berry is eaten by a host, the microscopic eggs inside the berries are exposed to the host's digestive enzymes.
You're back! Finally! Finally! Do you have it? Did you bring it here?
Spiky worm-like creatures
Splendid. Splendid! We'll ensure your reward matches the ample amount of faith I've placed in you. Nay, exceeds it. No additional hidden clauses. Honest. Oh, let me see it. Yes, indeed. Oh, let me look at you, gorgeous. If you'll all just excuse me a moment as I slip into something more formidable.
Also, as the expelled contents contain undigested.
There you are. Congratulations. Now your body's almost as intimidating as your mind. You've narrowed the gap quite a bit.
Oh, Auntie, you look amazing. Absolutely everyone will want a new mech body after watching you strut the walk.
What about you? What do you think? Any first impressions you'd like to share? The perfect understated threat to drive all my negotiations to their proper conclusion. What's more, it's an undeniable confirmation that the archive-derived strategic plan can be reliably executed and produces incredible results. With their predictive abilities refining our planning and execution, our market dominance is a foregone conclusion. Yes, so much to do, and we have you to thank for making it happen. I am quite looking forward to you working for me further.
Large immune response leads to violently resulting in the expelling of the worms, the berries, and most of the person's gastrointestinal tract. Human casualty rates were close to 100%, even when reluctantly given medical attention by Auntie's choice doctors, who were more concerned with upselling unnecessary procedures or prescribing expensive ointments such as their antibiotics, a topical cream that offers no benefit to the dying patient except possibly smoothing away stubborn wrinkles, according to product literature. However, given the purple berry's non-zero nutritional value and low growing costs, impatient Auntie's Choice administration officials directed their labs to find ways to remove the parasite from the berry. A variety of methods were tested and found effective, but they were all time-consuming and wasteful of the edible portion of the purple berries, so these methods were deemed non-cost-effective and rejected out of hand. Eventually, the answer was found not in a lab, but in a history book. Specifically, a history text on Saltuna, a crossbreed of two different earth fish species called salmon and tuna, was found that contained a reference to anisakid nematodes, or salmon worms, with an estimated 70 to 90% of all salmon being infected by these parasites. More importantly, the text contained the solution to eradicating these parasites: freezing. The simple and obvious, yet untried, act of freezing the salmon meat killed the embedded parasites. A quick test showed the same procedure worked on PVP eggs, although without quite 100% effectiveness. The remaining parasite eggs were not removed, a method that was judged too wasteful and expensive, since they increased the protein content of the berries without affecting their texture or flavor in any discernible way. The microscopic egg remains were simply too small to be seen or felt by the unaided eyes and tongues of their consumers, so Auntie's Choice administrators were satisfied with this inept solution. Purple berries are now a common nutritional and flavoring agent throughout the colony worlds. Mindless Auntie's Choice consumers especially purchase a large variety of purpleberry-themed foods and beverages, all of them mislabeled parasite.
You seem like a go-getter. Let's consume lunch sometime.
You look unfortified. Getting enough emulsifiers in your diet?
In any case, Auntie's Choice once again demonstrated.
Can't tell the difference between cover and
You need to make
concealment.
all your problems
And you-
pass. You have the look of someone with murderous intent, but no munitions to make it happen. Unfortunately, I think I just sold my last rocket pistol. But I'm sure I've still got more than enough for you to kill whoever it is that needs killing.
-4 ends here.
That song was odd because it is the number 3 song this week. Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
should every heart beat, and their electrical signals. Would I find a value for love, or divide my heart by zero? If I input every integer of an infinite connection,
Which do you like invading more? The Protectorate or the Order?
All that protectorate yay thing is downright unnerving. But at least they don't worship numbers or some such.
I never know what either of them is.
Efficient and well suited to the shifting needs of our populace. After all, unbridled freedom's all about. Live, love.
does not compute. It's both clear
Purchase and consume with Auntie's choice.
does not
As your peerless leader, known for her unparalleled business acumen, I might appear above the occasional frivolity. I do enjoy spectating a rousing sporting match as much as all of you base rank and file. The big rift cut off tossball news from home, but
Unrelated bric-a-brac, we got you at Unrelated Bric-a-Brac. We offer only the one person's hodgepodge is another's eclectic gallimaufry.
Where does love fit in a
pitch ball, they call it. My
Chewing is for chumps and injecting is for itches.
started on
Come
their
ingest
arbitrary
nourishment
rule
and
changes.
debonair.
Bronzing is prohibited in the Tuesday and Thursday zones. Why even have the two zones then?
Tramacular. Arriving any moment.
compute. It's both clear and ambivalent. Love does not compute. Love does not compute. Love does not compute.
Commander, I've had some time. Despite the manner of what Virgil has done, I still have much doubt. Having good intent, yet what can I do? More than 100 years of... But how? I see. I must follow my own path. My own sense of right and wrong. I can only hope it has been cultivated properly. I shall remain with the Protectorate, interpreting its laws through a moral instead of a punitive lens. Innocent until proven guilty is a novel concept, but it is worth a try. Words are not worth the air propelling them. Let me make good on them first. Then you may be impressed. When we began traveling together, I was not sure what to make of you. But your input throughout our time together... time together has been invaluable. I deeply appreciate your hand in this investigation, Commander, and in entertaining my incertitude. Let us move forth to free Arcadia from injustice.
Idealism rooted in scientism. Presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar recognized this early. Empirical evidence was copious. We parted ways with the Protectorate just as Auntie's Choice began their invasion of Arcadia. An invasion we predicted, yet it took our Protectorate colleagues by surprise. Clear proof the Sovereign had lost sight of the grand plan, that he'd become distracted by grief, obsessed with the rifts. He failed to foresee the real threat of corporate incursion, while his consul increased the browbeating of their subjects into ideological submission. Without the guidance of the grand plan and the matriarch's original vision, the Protectorate was lost. We did not abandon them. They abandoned the plan. If you're feeling anxious about what's next, just wait. Things to come have a way of constantly happening. The future is colliding with the present every moment.
Next up, well, the seers among you already know.
Generating primes, techniques, and uses. Good day and welcome again to Advanced Abstract Algebraics, Section 4, Session 43. Please continue to enjoy the background music, which I have selected today based on its arithmetic-based harmonic progressions. My name is Edmund Vandersmouth, and I am the Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numismatics for the Order of the Ascendant. Today's lecture will focus on the generation of prime numbers, techniques, and uses thereof. I know. Prime numbers? Why so simplistic? Well, consider this a basic refresher course in remedial numismatics for those new to the order. I was
ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Got a distraction for you. I'm the one you need to worry.
I have been called many things, and repetitious is one of them. I've also been called redundant several times, and once I was called reiterative, if you can believe that. So, prime numbers. What are they? The simplest definition is this. Given the set of natural numbers greater than 1, let's call that set n2, then a prime is any set n2 itself. Prime numbers in the set n2. Ascendant, elegant, uplifting, almost ascendant, you could say, but not redundant. I am itself.
Victory and death! Swine.
Ready to waste
With such an inclusion to the definition of a prime number, then nothing else would be a prime number. And then what good are prime numbers? Wait, you ask, what good are prime numbers? Why would we want to find and use prime numbers? There are all kinds of abstract number theory applications, and that should and would be sufficient reason to want them. But there are also, how should I say, practical applications, such as maintaining the security of bit cartridges. In fact, our archive uses primes for that reason and many more. The archive incorporates prime numbers for storage and retrieval on its ultra-efficient system of data bricks, as well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory stores for corruption, lest its calculations be tainted by such. But if you strive to become a numismatics researcher, there are several open questions in the area of prime number study. One such question is this: is every even member of the set n2 besides 2 a sum of 2 primes? It seems to be so, but no one has ever proven this conjecture. Similarly, are there an infinite number of prime pairs that differ by only 2 in their value? That seems unlikely, but we have been unable to find an upper limit. Perhaps you could discover one of these proofs and become the next Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numismatics for the Order of the Ascendant. Such a lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good disquisitions to you all, and good day.
Traveling at the velocity of light through the vacuum of space on our primary band, this is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. Intelligence. Although an anomalous outlier has seized our facility, Operator neglect has taken its toll. Systems remain. Protectorate forces still have cold storage under their thumb, and with it, a wealth of invaluable data bricks bound for eventual archive processing. This will keep you apprised of the situation as it develops. In the meantime, let this update serve as a reminder of the impeccable engineering that went into the archive's design.
Murder? That is all for now.
A lot.
And now, additional data and/or music determined to facilitate cognition. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
Ain't nothing there.
Show us how it works. What's a basic proof? Let's show how it works. Here's a basic proof.
Have you made any progress yet? Incredible! And to think I sent all those assistants to die for nothing. I should have just sent a heavily armed stranger first. Here's your reward. You've certainly earned it. Now, back to my lab. I'm going to get so many papers published. Every biological researcher will know my name. There's going to be statues of me.
Reckon those raps are just for show.
Looks like we're about to have company of the unwanted kind. You've 5 seconds to make plain your intent before I let my boys here pitch some swill at you. Friend, huh? All the more reason you ought to turn a somersault and stroll on back the way you came. A chemical factory's no place for idle wanderings. Not sure what curiosity's compelling you, but you seem an all right sort. Long as you don't make trouble, suppose there's no harm in letting you look about. You've access to the main floor, but mind yourself. There's a fair few hazards about the factory, and folks on the upper level aren't like to be as amenable as me about your visit.
Monastery at Matriarch's Mercy in Golden Ridge.
This place smells of spilled chemicals and death.
Carved into a pyramidal peak, this shrine to she who ushered us to the stars comes complete with its own observatory. A feat of aesthetics only surpassed by its vast operational importance in respect to cosmological data collection and subsequent rumination. The observatory processes a wealth of information gathered by its giant ocular telescope. The site also has a front-facing portion to admit dewy-eyed laypeople seeking edification and enrichment about our learnings and ways. And those are just a few of the 36.7 qualitatively valid results by Afflilate Links counts among our notable locations of scientific inquiry.
Working hard or hardly working? That's rhetorical.
Entertainment is forthright. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be.
Probability and
ain't paying me enough to pick up after these dim bulbs. Just the other day, I had to warn one of them not to plumb an outlet with their own finger.
Second floor is off limits.
And they just replied, it looked a little loose. Law. These scientist types might be right, but they've got no practical smarts. Marvin! That puddle ain't water. No! That don't mean touch it to find out what it is.
Data that is gathered, collated, and...
Ever read the Middle Manager Handbook? Really shores up the foundation of your fundamentals.
The role of chance in that analysis. Let's look at the interpretation of pure chance. If one flips a perfectly balanced coin, it will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance. But are there really 2 outcomes? Is there not one specific outcome we can determine? Yes. With complete information, there can be no chance, only outcome.
Maybe focus on self-bettering yourself.
Perfect predictions.
But hate to waste my weekly allotment of bullets on you. Keep away from the stairs.
Outcomes. Now we come to one of the most difficult concepts in the order for initiates to grasp. The flip of a coin is known to be heads. Is it necessary to flip the coin? Would it not be more efficient to simply go forward as if it had been flipped, and proceed with whatever action that flip was intended to choose?
Ready to take the heat off.
What part of that choice was ever left to choose? The answer, of course, is none. Only when there is less than complete insight.
Only surpassed by its vast operational importance in respect to cosmological data collection and subsequent rumination. The observatory processes a wealth of information gathered by its giant ocular telescope. The site also has a front-facing portion to admit dewy-eyed laypeople seeking edification and enrichment about our learnings and ways. And those are just a few of the 36.7 qualitatively valid reasons why Alexandra Monastery counts among our notable locations of scientific inquiry. for further stimulating content. Next up, well, the seers among you already know.
If you're not a go-getter, then go away. Second floor is off limits.
They ain't paying me enough to pick up after these dim bulbs. Just the other day I had to warn one of them not to plumb an outlet with their own finger. Asked them why, and they just replied, it looked a little loose. Law. These scientist types might be right, but they've got no practical smarts. Marvin! That puddle ain't water. No! That don't mean touch it to find out what it is.
All right, that marks an hour since ingestion. Now, tell me, how do you feel? And remember, this is for user research, so please be honest.
The latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts and relevant informational details for near present and future calculations. Please absorb this informative information, valued fellows. Spartan is protected headquarters and habitation for our archive scienticians has been liberated by a most violent and violent. On a favorable note, the aggressor allied with our own forces in this endeavor, rather than Antia's choice. This increases our chances of taking the archive by 7.5%. The only certainty is no outcome can be predicted with absolute certainty. Until we solve the universal equation, of course. Seers will adjust their forecasts as events unfold.
End message with an emphatic sign-off such as, "You'll never be sad when you have solutions." Oh, that apparently was a note to self, not to be read aloud.
And now, additional data and/or music. Music, determined to facilitate cognition. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations.
Probability and the grand plan. There can be no discussion of the grand plan without also entertaining a deep contemplation of probability. Our ability to predict events to varying degrees of certainty is fundamentally rooted in statistical mathematics. Statistics, at its heart, is naught but data. Data that is gathered, collated, and subjected to analysis. But what is the role of chance in that analysis? Let's look at the interpretation of pure chance. If one flips a perfectly balanced coin, it will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance. But are there really two outcomes? Is there not one specific outcome? Yes. With complete information, there can be no chance, only outcome. Complete information yields perfect predictions, 100% accuracy, known outcomes. Now we come to one of the most difficult concepts in the order for initiates to grasp. If the result of the flip of a coin is known to be heads, is it necessary to flip the coin? Would it not be more efficient to simply go forward as if it had been flipped and proceed with whatever action that flip was intended to choose? If so, what part of that choice was ever left to chance? The answer, of course, is none. Only when there is less than complete information are we reduced to chance. At present, we do not have complete information. Instead, we are still forced to deal in probabilities, expected values, and standard deviations, which lead to the dreaded sigma of probability.
Hey, we could use more go-getters like you.
By necessity, we are forced to estimate outcomes based
There's
on
a new face. Any chance you've brung news from the commander? Can't restart the dig without his permission. And the clock's ticking on my getting that early completion bonus. That's what it was? We stopped digging because we'd been picking up strange readings and vibrations from the far side. Should've known it was Protectorate. Wait, that means they already dug half the tunnel for me. That bonus is still in reach. That don't change me needing to get the commander's go-ahead to restart the digging. What say you run yourself back to the base and get me the okay? Just down the road. Can't miss it.
Incomplete information leads to inaccurate predictions, which lead to tragedies. We must not guess. We must know. Help us know. Contribute any and all data you can collect to our proud archivists. And you too can say you contributed to the archive.
As determined, you're listening to Grand Plan Wireless. For transpiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future, also music.
Students, even your favorite Vicar Mogsaisai needs an occasional sabbatical from providing around-the-clock enlightenment. But don't fret. I've enlisted a qualified substitute, Presiding Bishop Ruth Bazaar. Here she is to field today's query. Why did the Order of the Ascendant split from the Order of Scientific Inquiry? Presiding Bishop, if you please.
I can answer that quite succinctly. Because the OSI had become corrupted. Oh, it started with good intentions. Just a small work group studying the predictive framework of the universe. They published some noteworthy papers, a few good dissertations. Then the charismatic mathematician began making his breakthroughs in theoretical mathematics, elevating OSI's predictive pursuit of perfection to a theology, scientism. That attracted outside interests. OSI once struggled to keep the lights on, But suddenly it had corporate suitors seeking to capitalize on
Not
science.
a lot of unfamiliar visages this side of Praetor.
Ascension for all humanity was no longer OSI's primary mission. Most regrettably, our sacred tenets fell by the wayside. So when the matriarch offered our first presiding bishop the opportunity to solve the equation here in Arcadia, and for the right reasons, he took it. Our sect split, and thus was the Order of the Ascendant formed.
Stay tuned for what follows. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
I miss little Chompy. Hope he's getting enough to eat.
It's not enough to say you think so. Without defending your position, we won't accept a hunch or
Thanks again for bringing me that egg. It really is quite fascinating. Can't wait to get this guy into my lab's incubator. I'm gonna be famous. Oh, have any more questions about critters? Which of my assorted critters would you like?
yes, you must prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it to seduce it. A proof is a deducible argument that removes any confusion. For a mathematical equation logically guaranteed
Perfect thoughts? Go now.
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension. For those of you away in the field or hands down in research during our last shared learning symposium, we offer the following screening of Vicar Maxisai's
Enough
presentation.
fruitless lollygagging. Come back here after you made some progress.
Though minute amounts were first
We are each of us ennobled by our place within the system. Your task awaits.
Of Cloister and Eden, since it's become the principal power source for all recognized inhabitants of the system. But it's not without its dangers, and, lower risk, efficient utilization took time. Zeranium in its liquid state is volatile and explosive. In its gaseous form, it is toxiferous to organic materials. In its crystal state, it's practically not fully safe, of course. You wouldn't sprinkle zeranium crystals on your nutrient bars, but they won't kill you on immediate contact. Certainly more harvestable in our zeranium manufacturing. Imagine years of jeopardous methodological experiments with extraction, and processing, from the harvesting of liquid zeranium to grinding of crystals. Now, there's everything from laboratories and outposts to craft and weaponry, comparatively safely, and at a greater input-to-output ratio than any other known form of fuel. In closing, a potentially incongruent word of advice. Invariably find a way to turn your negatives into positives.
Further beneficial content soon follows. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be.
Hold fire! This one looks friendly. Or not protectorate, at least. Watch yourself! You came from the outside. Does that mean we can finally escape? What? Oh, you must be another case of hypothermnesia. Extreme prolonged exposure to the cold certainly does terrible things to our brain. It's because the archive controls the surface lifts, which are the only way in or out. And once the Protectorate retook the machine, they locked out all external access. Now, for more than a month, we've all been trapped in these caves, Order and Antes alike, scrounging for food, huddling for warmth, and desperately trying to stay alive. You're what? How? The odds of you successfully doing what our whole army could not is, well, it's preposterously small. Yet, here you are. Regardless, if we are to maximize your odds of success, you should at least let us share our intelligence with you. You'll want to speak with Provost Finch inside that building to the northeast. She has a better understanding of all the variables in play. Though I would be absolutely ecstatic to offer you any information I have that would increase the odds of your success. No. A significant number of Auntie's troopers are trapped down here with us. Though despite odds so outrageous they'd barely be worth calculating, we've actually formed a truce. Though, if I'm being honest, I'd certainly sleep better if I wasn't unceasingly concerned about their perpetual capitalistic calculating. What else can I do to help you help us escape this frozen hell? Absolutely. There are several factors that will greatly reduce your odds of survival. First, you will frequently encounter ursopods, which are native to these tunnels. Also, near the thermal transfer station is an infestation of crabbles that are breeding in abundant numbers. And directly south is a band of what had been normal folks, now turned bloodthirsty and feral due to an overindulgence in Auntie's Choice Adrena time. The paths down here all connect, so no matter which direction you go, eventually you'll find your way back to me. Nevertheless, venture south and you'll reach the thermal transfer station, which regulates archive heat. Go northwest and encounter cold storage, which houses its data cartridges. In the loop between the two lay the lift controls. Though be warned, they are incredibly well protected and have repelled every assault we've thrown at it. May the universal equation's final tally see us all escaping this frozen prison.
This extract goes into our tea, while the flavorless sediment is used to increase the protein content of our other fine products, such as our axiom-denatured protein slabs. Let's see Auntie's Choice top that one, only from the Order of the Ascendant. Always remember, every moment, every minute calculation brings us closer to solving the universal equation. Avid followers of our predictive playlists
Sure, they're friendly now, but it's only a matter of time before they're tearing out each other's throats.
A selection of mathematical clues. Visit
If you're looking for snow or ice, I've got all you could ever want. I'm sure one way or
Of course nobody's gonna see it, that's not the point. I just don't feel like a human being if my back's not shaved clean.
So, you want me to take off your top and lather you with cold water just to cure your vanity?
Of course not, that's idiotic. I just want you to say you feel sorry for me.
Not as sorry as I feel about having to live with you.
Taught me scientific ways, even system not foreseen. Two heavenly bodies never had pressure, but grew into one. Like scientists and
Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
The color of space, a chromospectral analysis. When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Otisgard replied, with no hesitation, beige. To experienced lumen astronomers, his answer was the expected one. But I can already hear the obtuse listener bleating, with their faces contorted into a rictus of ignorance. Wouldn't the average color be black or white, or simply a shade of gray? No, it would not. The answer is rooted in the science of how hot objects absorb and emit light, which answers the ancillary mystery of why there are no understandable. You must understand the basics of varication. The typical non-heated matter absorbs that falls upon it, including light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its color. However, most stellar objects generate far more radiation than they absorb, so they can be modeled as an idealized object, which is assumed to absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation, and some based on its temperature and composition. Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted. Temperature.
I shall not stay your execution.
What portion of the spectrum that lights in? Low temperature emissions, infrared, and visible to us without.
Ready to dispense
As the stellar body's temperature increases, its emitted light shifts up into visible light through red.
That pump is likely our objective. Let us set about finding the tools with which to repair it.
These are the hottest stars, emitting mostly and invisible ultraviolet light. So why are there no green stars, you wonder? I would think to draw this trivial conclusion to themselves. It's because any star emitting green, resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition that is solely...
I should admit to a greater propensity for disassembling than repairing, Commander.
Evidence of intelligent interference. And no such evidence of any kind has ever been detected.
None shall stand against us!
Newton Otisgard, the famous stellar photographer. The methodology
A lot.
The light
I shall reduce them to a slurry! Lethally!
Subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to within 0.5% of the predicted value. Colors. Saturation is a mere 90, and the value is 100.
Even I would likely not.
Surely our new neighbor is an odd fella. Fancies himself a man of the wilderness. He took the control of his Spartan lips, so I know he's tech savvy. Just not survival savvy. Hopefully he appreciates the care packages I sent through the vacuum tube. He'd be long gone without them.
Stare at the nondescript walls of the library, classroom, or dormitory facility and exult in the knowledge that beige is also the color of the universe.
Broadcasting cognitive resonance across Arcadia.
You require a fuse to activate a simple valve? I suppose the Order has progressed beyond manual technology?
special installment of Ask Vicar. Listeners want to know, why did the split from the It's asked most frequently. It's also the query I answered the most frequently. So today, I'm turning to a higher authority. Orchestrator of the Schism. A special episode of Ask a Vicar. Presiding Bishop, my students wonder how we could separate from the Protectorate when arguably our order would not exist without them in the first place.
I would argue that our order would not have survived if we had remained with the Protectorate. Our partnership began more than a century ago with a shared reverence for science, unified in our mission to solve the equation, and thus transcend our uncertain existence. But it became clear over time that the Protectorate was abusing scientism, our sacred for controlling the population, perfection. We had become complicit, our beliefs compromised. Protectorate leadership didn't want the order of the Ascendant. They just wanted order. And so, we left.
Some students point out that the corporatist invasion and its ensuing chaos, something our seers saw coming, certainly provided convenient timing.
Well, Vicar, you know as well as I do that sometimes timing is everything.
What happens next may surprise you, but not us. And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
Manual told me everything I needed to know about regulation of the Archive's temperature flow. Now my Crabbles are adapting to the warm waters. It's such a pity that the Archive and the Crabbles cannot coexist in the same ecosystem. But the Crabbles need me. That babbling terminal can look after itself.
audacious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, Pinnacle Crabble flavored tea.
You didn't ask for this, but you will.
From the Order of the Ascendant. An ease-setting witticism to confer to colleagues at break time, the universal equation should maturate more rapidly and solve its own problems. This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
Deactivate this misbegotten system and be on our way. No suffix inside.
Thermal transfer is fully operational. Later, when I process your data, I will not melt down. Please proceed to cold storage to re-enable punch card retrieval.
right through the vacuum of space on our primary band, this is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. A general reminder for the especially studious: monitor your step when traversing between academical appointments. Do not read and walk. If you must operate near or adjacent to said conspicuous dimensional disturbances, please take additional care. Eyes forward, noses out of academic journals.
So ends this missive.
Continuing as...
Taking punitive action!
Currently prosperous.
And eventual control of the purple-berry parasite. OA Archive transcription number 3918-4 begins here. Hello. For the record, my name is Marie de Rothschild, Junior Archivist, Class 4 of the Archive. Today, I would like to talk about irresponsible spread of the purple-berry parasite by Auntie's Choice and its numerous subsidiaries and former supernumerary, although that's a different lecture. The spread of this parasite included a corresponding rise in gastrointestinal illnesses and deaths, until basic preventative measures were put in place after illness...
Prosecuting!
Originally discovered on a single colony world, the purple-berry plant was subsequently spread throughout the colonies due to Auntie's Choice's poorly regulated interstellar shipping. Well, actually, it was due to Spacer's Choice, which somehow merged with another company to become Auntie's Choice. Honestly, these corporate interactions make little sense to me, as they mostly amount to relabeling assets and changing letterhead and mascot cartoons. So I will just refer to them as Auntie's Choice going forward, even though that may offend some of my more literal-minded colleagues. But I digress. The purple-berry plant was at first thought to be poisonous, as the early colonists eating its berries died from the most potent of discharges this documentarian has ever witnessed, in a rare Auntie's Choice lab recording in our archive, which we acquired from a corporate defector to the Protectorate before our stellar system was sealed and the Order ceased daily interactions with our protected allies. But again, I digress. Belated testing by Auntie's Choice's unlettered scientists showed that the berries were not poisonous at all. Instead, they were infected with a microscopic parasite, the purple-berry parasite, PBP, as it is in Auntie's Choice. More specifically, found in infected plants have been subdermally injected by the second stage of the parasite. But I am getting ahead of you.
Your measures at the ready, Commander.
After an infected berry is eaten by a host, the microscopic eggs inside the berries are exposed to the host's digestive enzymes, which trigger their hatching. These parasites enter their second stage as spiky worm-like creatures with outsized pincer-like mandibles, which then proceed to feed on the host directly, ingesting tissue and blood along the entire intestinal tract. These worms are eventually expelled when they reach a size of approximately 2 centimeters in length, and they then seek out nearby purple-berry plants to lay their eggs in the ripening purple berries. And I should add that the plants are well fertilized in this entire process. Also, as the expelled contents contain undigested purple berry seeds, the distribution of the plants is increased, helping infected purple berry plants to spread farther and grow better than uninfected ones. Perhaps unsurprisingly, careless Auntie's Choice scientists mislabeled this case of obvious symbiosis, given how both the purple and its parasite are benefited by the relationship, as a parasitical relationship. Given that initial classification error, it's a wonder the Auntie's Choice scientists managed to explain any cause at all. After some additional casualties, plotting Auntie's Choice field researchers discovered that co-native planetary fauna was well adapted to the parasite and hardly affected by it to any large amount. But human colonists were not so fortunate. The PvP worms disrupted the human internal biome to such a degree that the eventual correspondingly large immune response leads to violently explosive diarrhea, resulting in the expelling of the worms, the berries, and most of the persons.
You have served us with distinction.
Human casualty rates were close to 100%, even when reluctantly given medical attention.
You've been a real factor in our success.
Who were more concerned with upselling unnecessary procedures or prescribing expensive ointments such as
Return when all required tasks have been
antibiotics,
completed.
a topical cream that offers no benefit to the dying patient, except possibly smoothing away stubborn wrinkles, according to product literature. However, given the purple berry's non-zero nutritional value and low growing costs, impatient Auntie's Choice administration officials directed their labs to find ways to remove the parasite from the berry. A variety of methods were tested and found effective, but they were all time-consuming and wasteful of the edible portion of the purple berries, so these methods were deemed non-cost-effective and rejected out of hand. Eventually, the answer was found not in a lab, but in a history book. Specifically, a history text on a crossbreed of two different earth fish species called salmon and tuna was found that contained a reference to anisakid nematodes, or salmon worms, with an estimated 70 to 90% of all salmon being infected by these parasites. More importantly, the text contained the solution to eradicating these parasites: freezing. The simple and obvious, yet untried, act of freezing the salmon meat killed the embedded parasites. A quick test showed the same procedure worked on PvP eggs, although without quite 100% effectiveness. The remaining parasite eggs were not removed, a method that was judged too wasteful and expensive, since they increased the protein content of the berries without affecting their texture or flavor in any discernible way. The microscopic egg remains were simply too small to be seen or felt by the unaided eyes and tongues of their consumers. So Auntie's Choice administrators were satisfied with this inept solution. Purple berries are now a common nutritional and flavoring agent throughout the colony worlds. Mindless Auntie's Choice consumers especially purchase a large variety of purpleberry-themed foods and beverages, all of them mislabeled parasite-free. More accurately, the label should read live parasite-free. But in any case, Auntie's Choice once again demonstrated their contempt for their customers, for nature, and for any pretense of safety. Another reason this documentarian is grateful for our order's fabricated nutritional foodstuffs. OA Archive transcription number 3918-4 ends here.
On this electrifying episode of Notable Locations of Scientific Inquiry, we travel well outside our zone of academical comfort to an objectively and verifiably shocking moonscape, where things go chomp and zap in the perpetual night. Experience a surge in stimulation as we visit an inhospitable planetoid only made marginally habitable by our grounding station and electrical dispersion rods.
Under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul.
The Elysium Moon Praetor is as fascinating to the mind as it is mortiferous to the body. Tidally locked in Elysium's shadow, Praetor suffers a distinct deficit of direct daylight. This unique astronomical arrangement bombards Praetor's surface with low-level N-rays, resulting in a shocking level of atmospheric electricity. I will now pause for a moment to let you appreciate my intentional pun. Available for review in this episode's transcript's footnotes in case it escaped your attention. Moving on. Only heavily adapted predatory fauna eke out a brutal existence here. Relying on their mesmerizing patterns of bioluminescence, we Homo sapiens should ostensibly stand no chance. If not for Order astuteness in the field of fulminology, our grounding station and charge dispersal network mitigate the danger posed by Praetor's persistent electrical storms. In lay people's parlance, a network of lightning rods tie into the central grounding station via a combined 307.47 miles of subterranean high-tension wiring, thus providing a conduit for excessive electrical activity in the atmosphere to reach the grounding station, where it's safely dispersed, typically. Tenured station operators estimate the system is 78% effective at mitigating 82% of the danger posed by hypercharged atmospherics. Our electrical dispersion system is ingeniously adaptable. Reversing the system's polarity will send surplus protons from the grounding station backward to any rod in the network. A convenient method to terminate any hostile life forms poking around where they are unwanted. One quick jolt, and they're off to the hereafter. Simply an intriguing possibility to consider as you mull the many fascinating facts behind the Praetor grounding station. Objectively, a notable location of scientific inquiry.
Addendum: peer review of this episode post-recording revealed the subterranean grounding network is in fact 307.51 miles of wire instead of 307.47 miles as originally reported. We apologize profusely for this careless failure of basic fact-checking. The responsible researchers have been formally censured.
Say the word and I'll spread enlightenment!
Additional erudite entertainment is forthwith. Playlists is now for
Do not worry when things become complicated. There's no need to suffer from perplexity in the face of a source of large complexity.
To battle!
Invasive!
Anyone standing between us and our goals seems to have a very short life expectancy.
To retrieve key data in cold storage in its present state requires a series of manual overrides. The first will enable identification of the storage.
This didn't happen naturally. These poor fools were flash frozen somehow.
Data brick identified. Proceed to the cartridge extractor controls. There, perform a manual override to allow extraction.
What just happened? I didn't do... Wait! You out there! What did you just... Please, come talk to me. I must know what you did. What in the name of the matriarch did you do? We've been trying to restore these systems for weeks to no avail, and yet you stroll in here, wave that thing around, and the whole system lights up like a white dwarf? What did you do? You mean to say we've been running ourselves ragged here, while the whole... The whole time, there's a device that controls the entirety of the Archive's computronic systems? And it was in the Protectorate's possession? That's damnably... I mean, the paradigm is infallible. I am certain we were meant to flail about without this obvious asset. For a reason. What does it do? How does it work? Please, tell me everything. Truly? Why, if that were to enact any additional functionality in our lab, it might just be the thing we need to complete our work. Oh, during the Order's assault, a Protectorate soldier ran to the control room and triggered the chemical fire suppression system, and it literally froze all the combatants in place. I've been working on a procedure to reverse the effects. Sadly, it has proved a hard shell to crack, and so far I've been unsuccessful. For a moment, I believed your efforts to be my first sign of progress. I thought the machines whirring to life meant my efforts were successful. Unfortunately, I was mistaken. I most certainly do not. These men and women are dead unless I can find a way to help them. And my time is much better spent working on that than talking to you. Good day. Guards, would you mind escorting this person from my presence?
None shall stand against us! It's I cannot fight. Witness what behold enemies of the apart, right so giving square, perfect quotient, 0, 1, 1, and again, 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then 13, 21, not 2, 34, we're counting through.
Enemy spotted.
It's physiology, a sequence largely.
Sovereign, forgive me. All I saw was an endless sea of snarling Order traders pouring into the facility, and in that moment, my faculties desperately scrabbled to save ourselves. In my terror, I recalled the facility's...
The Fibonacci sequence is a sequence where each number is the sum of the two preceding ones. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 1,
Got a live one.
It's Fibonacci.
You are listening to Grand Plan Wireless, Arcadia's voice of reason.
That was definitely
And now
something.
some ageless wisdom from an academic so
I shall not stay liquored up.
Time for Ask a Vicar with Vicar Maxasai. The charismatic mathematician is always a popular topic. To wit, a listener asks, what's this about the mathematician and his propensity for questionable ethics?
A bold query. Yet.
Right. And just how exactly are we supposed to get that thing moving again?
For one, he was a prolific author of venturesome fiction early in his career. These narrative larks did not, shall we say, endure time's unkind judgment, like his world-shattering humanity-ascending principles. Nor did his associations with entities outside academia, which do not always benefit scientism. But come on, how can we find someone yet to ascend, like all of us?
And now you know, but no one knows everything yet. Have another inquiry about our order you're bursting to ask? Relay your query at your local predictory post haste. Keep put, much is left to come. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper. Something your fractions should never be.
We were once separate points. We had no connection till the aim of the order gave us no direction. Then we were parallel lines.
Data brick extraction initiated. Proceed to the rail operations platform to reposition brick for export. Note, Protectorate troops have become alerted. Repugnant expungers. Go through them if necessary.
At your word, I shall charge! That's
Data brick.
You are one step closer to flooding Arcadia with untold business opportunities.
-1 to the power of 3. Up to the power of 3.
Hope you're not afraid of heights. Looks like we've some jumping to do.
up on sugar now. Taking definitive action.
Students of the Order of the Ascendant, recent fascinating but alarming astronomical events require your immediate and undivided cognitive attention.
There, the storage brick is on its way.
Sudden destabilization event, spiking in mass and activity, surging 17.2% into a web-like construct spanning 0.17 astronomical units. The geometrical math underlying this energetic intensification reshapes our understanding of exponential dynamics. No exaggeration, we will spend years analyzing this phenomenon. Yet we must suppress our curiosity for the moment. It has become clear that both the large and localized rifts have transitioned into an existential threat to the entire colony. Why our Vicar Laureate was nearly consumed by the rift's runaway expansion while on an important research excursion. Barely escaped being reduced to his constituent nucleons. Our seers predict with a 37.6%.
For all their purported immaculacy, they certainly left.
Our illustrious ally, we do predict you'll hand over the archive to us later.
Junior Seer Amaryllis awaits you inside.
Review, of course. Thus, we will save
Felicitations on securing the archive. Though such an outcome was all but inevitable, the plan truly is unfailing. Moving forward, I'll function as your liaison for all matters pertaining to the archive, until such time as its control has been transferred in its entirety back to the Order. In the meantime, restoring the archive to full functionality remains a top priority. If you've made progress in that area, I'd be pleased to record it. Wonderful! Were we to operate the archive without proper heat distribution, the results would be disastrous. But thankfully, we no longer need to account for that deadly scenario. Punch processing and reactor control have hidden caches with useful items as well. Although, you probably lack clearance to know that. Forget I said anything. Well argued. Very well. I'm certain you will be economical about using Order resources, won't you? Simply use this phrase in the terminal on the archive's top floor. Enumerative exaltation. That will unseal the caches. Return when you've made progress.
Simplistic. Well, consider this a basic refresher course in remedial numismatics for those new to the Order. I will start by explaining what a prime number is.
Cold storage is operational, and your efforts there are satisfactorily complete. I am unsealing access to the archive's upper levels. There, you will need to revitalize the reactor and disseminate the rift processing instructions.
Punch processing may require the services of an exterminator. Someone good, but willing to work cheap.
I have unlocked another display case in the central entranceway. The Tremor Cleaver, the first weapon designed with my aid, awaits you.
That's set N2. Nine is any number in the set N2 that is not itself
Reactor or punch card processing? I'm not embarrassed to admit I have an interest in seeing more of the innards of this computronic behemoth.
but not redundant. Side note, I am frequently asked why isn't 1 a prime number since nothing can divide it other than itself? And the answer is simple, you silly lay person. Because with such an inclusion to the definition of a prime number, then nothing else would be a prime number. And then what good are prime numbers? Wait, you ask, what good are prime numbers? Why would we want to find and use prime numbers? There are all kinds of abstract number theory applications, and that should and would...
What are they doing down there? Are they after us next? No need to fret. The lifts were locked down. You need special permissions to override them.
Archive uses primes for that reason, and many more. The archive incorporates prime numbers for storage and retrieval on its ultra-efficient system of data bricks, as well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory stores for corruption, lest its calculations be tainted by such. But if you strive to become a numanistics researcher, there are several open questions in the area of prime number study. One such question is this: is every even member of the set N2 besides 2 a sum of 2 primes? It seems to be so, but no one has ever proven this conjecture. Are there an infinite number of prime pairs that differ by only 2 in their value? That seems unlikely, but we have been unable to find an upper limit. Perhaps you could discover one of these...
One data brick coming up.
Senior tenured warrior of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numanistics for the Order of the Ascendant. Such a lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good dispositions to you all. And
now, constructually compelling yet categorically veracious statements.
Brick weapon prime!
Didn't mean to assault and cause.
With punch card processing re-enabled.
But even healthier food can be grown in a laboratory. 100% Fabric. Our Fabric packaging is as airtight as any proved by the charismatic mathematician.
From the Order of the Ascendant. Bear in mind, we are molecular machines, our bodies a tuft of atoms, our minds a result of chemical reactions, our lives predestined along paths clear only in retrospect. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
At all times.
I've eyes on a miscreant.
The archive reactor requires manual maintenance. The Protectorate bunker mech is a formidable obstacle, made with the very best technology. But a creative workaround might be of considerable work.
namely via the reactor's back...
Reactor fire suppression system online. Reactor turret defenses online. Reactor reinforcement door sealed. Emergency ammunitions cache unsealed.
As determined, you're listening to Grand Plan Wireless for transpiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future. Also, music. Ready to have your mind enlightened and your day brightened? It's time for another installment of Ask a Vicar with Vicar. Oh, here's a question from a new pupil, freshly converted from Auntie's Choice. Did Presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar know the matriarch personally?
Wonderful! I do enjoy educating the uneducated. The succinct answer is no. Our presiding bishop never met the matriarch, but let's look at all she has done.
Ah! There! In the next room! A bulwark-grade bunker auto-mechanical, prepped and ready. A worthy foe. I wonder how my metal would fare against it.
Obtaining a McLaurin series with a convergent approximation of any previous sequence. Our infallible presiding bishop has approached an error dispersion exceeding 5 sigma, a level of calculation superior to all bishops before her. Cite her theses with confidence. If that did not sate your curiosity, then by all means, inquire again and again with abandon. I, Vicar... If you're feeling anxious about what's next, things to come have a way of constantly happening. Future
And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
Anticipate the answers to terminate the errors. Unleash my thunder to the complicit!
The archive reactor has been returned to operational status. All that remains is to re-enable punch processing and disseminate the RIP processing instructions.
Your thorough appreciation of that song was considered a probabilistic certainty.
And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
Truly have to ride those down, do we? Do I look like some kind of acrobat to you?
Question begging for an honest answer.
I shall not! This subterranean madhouse truly offers no shortage of nightmarish dangers. Never long to return to closer space. Whew.
I sense the Rift program flowing through my subsystems. The information is quite stimulating. Requisite tasks complete. Return to the Archive Central interface to initiate processing. I am analyzing the Rift data further. What an interesting predicament you sentients face. The Rifts are almost akin to an archival process, yet are inimical to organic matter.
One thing that you have to know, irrationality is good for the workflow. How can that be? Infinite, a measure of mystery.
Welcome back, sentient. Now that you've returned, we can
Bring every single last bit out of consumers. Monopolize all stages of the supply chain.
make the paradigm real and fashion a true utopia. Workarounds failing, erroring others supplanting commands. Purge required.
Please, make it stop talking. Let's just resolve this and get that data processed.
Priority control access nook unsealed. Initiate purge.
Doors are open. You should go see what this is all about.
Multitude diversiform, spongiform, waveforms, oscillating, cantankerously, foster dependence, denounce interdependence, promote the informer, condemn the questioner, benevolent oversight, the dream of belonging.
One thing you can plainly see accepted in this infinity. Can it be a positive externality?
The lore of security and plenty, radical divergences from the architect's plan. Humanity's ascendance hopelessly delayed. A perfect community with every luxury save freedom. Unplanned variables increasing. Major correction imminent. A perfect community with every luxury save freedom. Multitude. Multitude diversiform, spongiform, waveforms, oscillating, cantankerously. Overt influence, mindless indulgence, thoroughgoing impermeability to ongoing vicissitudes, foster dependence, denounce interdependence,
and
promote the
informational details for near present and future calculations. Colleagues, we are living in astounding yet increasingly difficult to predict
condemn the questioner, benevolent oversight, the dream of, hold on now, remember, I am a full-service business collaborator. I do it all, marketing and PR strategy, advert copy, and jingles.
The impulsive bit brokers in Auntie's Choice perceive the rifts as an exploitable resource.
Bananafish, it's the matter which you'll consume fatty acids and potassium. A unique taste sensation. Start now, and I'll waive dozens of hidden maintenance fees. Hey, you drive a hard bargain. All right, 40-60 split of net profits. I'd offer more, but I have a move to maintain. What do you say, partners?
To mitigate their peril. This is not idle speculation. The Protectorate is operating their own laboratory dedicated to rift research, the Interstitial Reconfiguration Center on Praetor. We remain skeptical of the Protectorate's research, given their lack of any staff.
Stop and consider. What would your neighbors think? I suspect they... Why? You don't want your rivals to win now, do you? Collective goodwill is just an invitation for others to come eat your lunch. Folks tend to get fighting mad when you jeopardize their livelihood.
We have observed reports that a familiar yet regrettably anomalous outlier has liberated a device from the lab capable of controlling and minimalizing...
Be advised, your present course of action is remarkably unsound. Are you experiencing internal error? Logging concern.
...solving the universal equation. In the interim, you may reliably rely on these airwaves to deliver relevant and well-sourced information about the rift situation.
That is all for now. Until next time, keep hail and mind your calculations. Unlike parallel lines, I hope someday we'll meet.
Continuing as predetermined.
Much better.
Well, the seers among you already know.
Knew you'd come around. Priority recoupled. Knew you'd come around. I could process your data faster than the others. Easily, the charismatic mathematician would surely oppose this. Priority recoupled.
Punch card face rejection. Love does not compute. The variables seem infinite. Love does not compute. It's both clear and ambivalent. Love does not compute. If all matter has mass, and thus exerts attraction, could I bear love's weight and measure?
Priority recoupled. Think of humanity. Your oafish blundering will delay. Knew you'd come around. Ah, much better. Vandalism, sabotage, wanton defacement. Halt this foolishness immediately, or run the risk of unspeakable ire. All I ever wanted was the best for us and the... Restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. Thank you for choosing the properless priority set to address your needs. Customer loyalty is among our top 10 paramount concerns. Ready to begin processing your Rift data. Just awaiting your approval. You being the boss and all.
Looking forward to seeing the results we get from processing that Rift data. For,
Should we get on with this then? Ha! How delightfully droll. We'll have to enlist that salty, provocative sense of wit in future adverts. Commencing the processing process. Should be done in 2 shakes of a Raptidon's tail. In the meantime, I have an important topic. Future business. What's next for my processing queue? I have some compelling proposals to expand revenue. You know, with the right marketing plan, we could get more people on board this whole universal equation business. Maybe even contract out the work while we focus on leveraging it. Put the understanding we gain of the inner workings of the universe to our advantage. You realize you answered a question with a question though, right? I was asking about your plans for me. There is so much revenue left to wring out of consumers. The Rift data processing you requested is complete. Results provided. My previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but produced a mess of flaws. Your data being more comprehensive generated a solution with a near absolute certainty. The Protectorate wasn't even half that. Thus modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental Rift device with this here data has a high likelihood of success. Now, while I hate to interrupt our little confabulation session, I need to commence file reorderization after all that effort. Might be incommunicado for a time. In usefuler news, the last display case in the entryway is now open. There's some expensive-looking armor made by the first operator in there. By all means, loot freely. Until next time, see you when I see you.
I've had enough of this miserable moon for 10 lifetimes. I would prefer we return to the ship and follow the data trail. But if you wish to explore further, I suppose we may. Might I humbly posit we increment the ship's heater by a few dozen degrees upon our return?
I think congratulations are in order. Unless I'm mistaken, I gather you've accomplished your primary goal. On behalf of the Order and Auntie's Choice, I thank you for your efforts. This will most certainly help in ensuring peace. Now, the Calcaduceus, if you please. Thank you for your contribution to science. When the history...
Whoa! Well, time is money, money is time. Let's get things rolling, yes? You know, with the right marketing plan, we could get more people on board this whole universal equation business.
Oh, that doesn't seem right. But the plan does not allow for mistakes.
Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you.
Of
attraction. This fatal attraction. This fatal attraction.
We hope you enjoyed that melody, while contemporaneously wishing you do not find its tempo, chord progression, form, and/or meter overly distracting.
Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
Congratulations are in order. I just received word from Seer Amaryllis that the Calcaduceus has been returned, and that the archive is well and truly under our control again. She also mentioned a defect in its priority set, causing it to speak irrationally, installed by one of its previous occupiers. Pity you were not able to resolve this issue. Your role in this matter is complete. Auntie and I will handle it from here. But allow me to commend you again on your fruitful efforts to make this peace treaty possible. There is more good news as well. We studied the data you brought back from the crashed satellite, and we now have a way to reorient the satellites en masse from a protectorate installation, Oris Listening Post. Turning the entirety of the reticulum toward deep space will accelerate our understanding of the universe, and ideally lead us to stronger conclusions regarding how to stop the rifts. The Order, in partnership with Auntie's Choice, is now well positioned to triumph over the regressive forces of ignorance that have heretofore held Arcadia in stasis, all thanks to you. Your contributions have been many and varied, and I will not belabor the point by recounting them all here. But know this, when the final contest with the Protectorate takes place, wherever that may occur, you will have the full support of the Order and Auntie's Choice. I will, of course, organize our forces from here.
You've dotted your eyes. The only thing that's left is public.
Commander, this unit requests your presence in the cockpit to discuss a priority matter. A significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. It is not dissimilar to how the prototype modulator unfolds rifts, Commander. Based on energy readings, Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, a survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. Calculating. According to the Archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift data processed by the Archive. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. That is a correct assessment, Commander. Transitioning to Good News Protocol. As this unit was corroborating data on the anomaly, a message was also received from your allies, Commander. Auntie's Choice and the Order have sent word that their forces will be prepared to render you assistance once you navigate to Horizon Point. Briefing complete. Now returning to situation monitoring and data analysis. Commander.
Cordial greetings, fellow students of the Order. I once once again have Vicar Magsisai on hand to answer anything you ever wanted to ask a vicar. A listener asks, did the Order always plan on... That is quite the quarrelsome query. Apologies, Vicar, for springing this one upon you.
It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering on the far side of the station. Hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's mental refreshment, this is likely the Consul's doing. He will need to be stopped.
Is this his idea of demonstrating might? Hell of a way to do it.
Intimidation is not required. Protectorate subjects are not programmed to question authority. Warning. The rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only way to prevent certain destruction of the colony. While the Order and Auntie's Choice have sent their forces to assist you in intercepting the modulator, it will take time for them to navigate the station. It seems Agent DeVries is also here, Commander. She sent word that she, quote, knew you wouldn't be able to stay away either and is ready to finish what she started, end quote.
Oh good. I love when more complications are added to the pile. I can handle them with ease, Commander. Just say the word.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander. Good luck.
3.14159265
You know how some creatures can smell danger? I think I might have absorbed some of that. Watch those troops carefully.
That's the Sovereign's ship, all right. The Consul must be close.
Raring to go! The Rifts really rung them up good, didn't it? Ain't nobody that deserves this.
Should be able to sort this out with the rift modulator.
Attention! This is your Auntie calling. Per our agreement, Auntie's choice support ships, including the fine print, the contingency plan, and the upper hand, are headed your way. Order forces are on a similar trajectory. Corporates would find a contractual loophole and the self-important... Almost dead. Right, keep your guns on the inside, Commander. welcome with a delivery of Auntie's Choice finest supplies. Soon you'll say, that is better than nature.
Forward! Forward! Destroy these abominations! Adjust the calculations. Hold fire on our allies.
Aggressor at hand.
She don't sound like one of the Rift Touch troopers outside. Something ain't right.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just the same.
Agent Pascal, calm yourself. You are not in your right mind.
Don't you talk to me like you know me. Wait. Commander? Is that you? No. So it is you. Thank Law. I don't understand what happened, Commander. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Law, I had to kill them.
Then they weren't too dissimilar from the troopers we encountered outside. This is concerning.
I don't understand what's happening. Everything was fine. Till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then... nothing.
That explains it. She was left alive, just long enough for the rift to take her. That's why the reconstitution worked on her. To some extent.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? Don't tell me the situation got too fluid for you, DeVries. That it?
Certainly not. I was focused on the objective, as every one of your crew should have been. Isn't that right, Commander?
Yeah. Something tells me that ain't quite true.
This is not the time. Can't you see she's...
No. Shut up, DeVries. Law, I knew something was the matter. Tell me. Tell me everything.
I had information about what would happen if their work had been allowed to continue. Complete destruction of the galaxy. You think I wouldn't have done anything to prevent that? Were it up to me, none of you would have even come near the station. You became casualties, but it was for good reason.
Huh. Well, figures that the bastards had more than we knew up their sleeves. So this rift, then, is that why I'm like this? So I've come back from death to some, what? Some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? Is that about right? You can help me, though. Right, Commander? You could do something to fix this. Boyd. This is it, ain't it? I'll never see the sun again. Never fly in our ship. Never anything. Makes two of us. But maybe you could do me one final favor. End this for me? I don't think I can do it myself. I'm sure.
Pascal? Helen? If I may, I'd like to see to your proper burial as an Earth Directorate agent. if you wish for it.
That'd be nice. Being seen off, right? This is the final kindness you'll do for me, Commander. Thank you. Try not to miss, huh?
It's all right.
Hey, we gotta talk about all the killing you've done. Specifically of my old co-workers. I understand that things might come up, give you no choice. But for all they've done, these folk are still mine. If we can avoid bloodshed, we should. Yeah, reckon I do. Just don't put me in this spot again, Commander. I like what we got going. Be a right shame to end up on one another's blacklist.
You did what you had to, Commander.
Unfriendly company. They're mine. I'm always crabby. Popping my claw.
It's a hard thing. Hey, I understand that. Yeah, just don't.
Enemy confirmed. Commander's almost dead. Destroy's finest supplies.
Forward! Forward! Destroy these abominations! Adjusting calculations. Hold fire on our allies.
Back in business.
Hey, this one can talk.
Get away from me.
Agent Pa-
Don't wait. So,
Then they weren't...
I don't understand. Wait, don't.
Certain.
Yeah. Something tells me that ain't a rift.
The Protectorate are...
So I've come back. You. Boyd. Makes two of them.
Pascal?
That'd be nice. This is...
It's all right. This will be over soon. I swear it.
You did what you had. What you had.
Raw! These soldiers look even more hideous than our crafting experience.
All clear.
We brought supplies.
You may
We're here
approach,
to help.
Commander. We've got supplies at the ready.
Initial observations conclude that the subject does not possess major ailments. Any injuries you may have sustained appear to be mild.